All right. Well, getting a little more active right now, so I wanted to come on, update everyone on our latest warnings. And as the title says, it is round one. Unfortunately, round two is a little bit later, probably late this afternoon or early part of the evening. Evening probably more like it. But let's get let's get through this round first. So as you can see, we have a severe thunderstorm warning for parts of Dallas, Collin, southeastern Denton. There's several warnings here, so let's kind of zoom in a little bit. And so this particular storm is what's being warned for right here, just centered over Carrollton, maybe just north of Carrollton. Some quarter-size hail reports. That's actually down from the hail reports that we had in east and northeast of Fort Worth, and Richland Hills had up to an inch and a half reported ping pong ball size. So it's come down definitely from those sizes. But again, quarter size hail, 60-mile-an-hour wind gust. So I'm not surprised that the Weather Service did extend, or not extend, but issue the warning further northeast for this storm. So if you are anywhere in this area, really Allen, south part of McKinney, Lucas, Parker, Plano, maybe Murphy, definitely expect some stormy weather. I wouldn't be shocked if you saw some hail. It's not really big at the moment, but we definitely want to keep an eye on that. It could ramp back up. Not the inch and a half that we saw before, but definitely something to keep in mind. And actually, expand this out a little bit. So this storm down, well, I always do that. This storm right here is kind of ramped up a little bit. Let's put this in motion here. No warnings on it, but it's definitely grown in size the last few radar scans. And as you can see, the radar just updated. So we do see these storms again moving northeast. I mean, maybe just a tad north of northeast if you want to really get technical. Let's stop that. So let's look at the hydrometer classification. Kind of gives us an idea about hail. Well, the good news is, and red really is the first color that indicates hail, so it's something that we don't see a lot of on this particular layer of the radar, so that's good. But we do see a little bit of hail, and remember, this is what the radar measures, not at the ground. It's pretty close to the radar site right here, so you're probably talking maybe a few hundred feet, 1,000 feet off the ground. But obviously, if the hail gets big enough, you'll reach the ground, and so it's something that just obviously there's hail in that thunderstorm. Whether all of it's reaching the ground, that's another story. Hello, Andrew. I got the YouTube live this time. Last time it was just Facebook, so I know you like to watch on YouTube. So good to see you, my friend. And you're up in the Anna way, I think. I know your mom's up that way. So how? I think, matter of fact, let's get back on reflectivity. And well, most of the pretty good little storm there, Gunter. That's northwest of you, so you should be good for now. I would watch this particular storm that's severe warned right now, that's headed your way right here, although it's really more like this, so I think it's going to go south of you. So that's good news. North of Anna. Okay. Yeah. Well, even even better for that particular storm. So again, we are under a tornado watch until 11 p.m. And then, so we're probably going to be having an active evening up until then. I don't know if it's going to go all the way to 11, that's for sure. So the other thing I would just show is the velocity. And so there's nothing to show here, which is really, really good. It's just, these storms aren't spinning in that regard. So tornado threat right now is not that high. These are really hailstorms, or hailers as we like to call them. And so that's really more the concern we have right now. Right now, overall, the storms have behaved, other than when they got downtown Fort Worth, east and northeast of Fort Worth. They put down some decent sized hail, but it's something that they have not done that here lately. So again, this is a velocity scan, nothing to show here, thankfully. All right, so I would say, let's put this in motion again. So again, if you live in southern Collin County, Plano, Allen, Lucas, Parker, Murphy, definitely going to see some stormy weather here. And even though this cell is not warned, Uh, if I go a little slower, I can not move the radar screen. That's not more, but I would be shocked if it had a little bit of hail in it and moving off this way. So again, if you live in Rockwall, Royce City, any place like that, just kind of McClendon, Chisholm, Heath. If you just want to keep an eye out for that particular storm. Let's see. Oh, you did get some rain out your way, Andrew. Okay. Yeah, rain and thunder. There's gonna be a lot of that. I'll take if it's just rain and thunder. I'll take that all day long. So let's expand this picture out here a little bit more. Kind of give you an idea of what we got. So, and the radar is pretty messy up to the north, but that's actually not a bad thing. The more cell mergers we get, the better. Now, one of the reasons we don't really have a big tornado threat is the warm front that moved through is somewhere roughly right there. So most of these storms are riding up and over that warm front, which makes them elevated, and then that, of course, keeps the tornado threat almost zero because they're above that stable layer below, but it also doesn't prevent hail from falling through. So that's something that again, these are all hailers right now. Don't see any type of rotation in them, but that's round one. Round two, you can already see starting to get going out this way. This particular storm that was east of Abilene is now west of Eastland, has been trying to get its act together to be a superstorm, supercell. Hasn't quite got there yet. Technically doesn't have a warning on it, but I wouldn't be shocked if it did. And I think what you'll see is this storm kind of expand and grow. You'll probably see something move. If I can draw an arrow, move that way. Now, it's early in the game, but one of the models, the HRRR, earlier today was showing that some of these supercells might skirt just a little south of us. Doesn't do us, our friends south of us, any good, but as far as the immediate Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, that might be what happens. So it's something that we definitely want to keep an eye on. Let's see. I'm just looking at my comments here. Hey Kim. No, you didn't miss Princeton. Well, you sort of did. We'll zoom in on that. You're kind of in the bullseye for that. But again, this is just something you just want to keep an eye on. The hail is not too big, Kim, so don't worry too much about that. It's kind of ramped up and down, but you can see the hail core right here. And then if we put the hydrometer classification on, it's gotten a little bit bigger. Where you see the red is where hailstones are usually indicated by the hydrometer classification. Doesn't look anything too horrible. It's been, the warning is for quarter size hail. But again, you can kind of see, and sometimes in that green area, if you look at the key, it's heavy rain. Wouldn't be shocked if there was some hail mixed in with that rain, but it's something that you definitely want to. Yes, it's gotten dark out in my house, so I don't have any light into my background anymore. But so it's nothing horrible, thankfully, but it's something you definitely want to watch. That's for sure. And really, if we scroll down here, I know this map's kind of messy with all the different colors, but really, there's no other true hail cores in any of this activity that's in our area. Now, a lot of heavy rain. And really, so far, it's probably hard to see on this screen, but a couple lightning bolts here. So some lightning and thunder, that's for sure. But this particular storm that's really over Rowlett, wouldn't be shocked if there were some hail reports out of Rowlett. Hey, Misty, pretty ugly clouds and lightning. How are things looking here? Well, I'm glad you asked, Misty. So for those of us who... Oh, wow. Okay, well, the good news is, Misty, is that you don't have any warnings for your area. Let's see. Although it's all, I can see why it's ugly looking. We'll put this in motion for you. And by the way, if you live somewhere outside of Dallas-Fort Worth, let me know, as Misty does all the time. I will zoom in on your area, that's for sure. So, Misty, the good news is that this is all moving away from you. So, because you're roughly, if I remember right, you're roughly in here. So the good news is, expand it out. I can't. Let me do this. Span this out a little bit more. So you can kind of see most of the weather is going to be north of you. So that's good. So you don't have to worry about it, at least for the time being. Thank you, Debbie. I appreciate that comment. I'm glad to do it. Just want to keep everybody informed. I think the more informed people are, obviously keep them safe. And then, just kind of give you an awareness on what's going on. So again, what you're seeing here is these round one. And like I said, these storms, thankfully, in the big picture, these storms are behaving. So I know that they're not behaving in the sense that if you got some hail earlier today, but nothing huge, although 1.5 inches of hail is nothing to sneeze at, that's for sure. But it's just something that it's so far so good in the big scheme of things. Now, like I said, I think that we'll stop this and we'll expand this out a little bit more. And, okay, so that supercell out this way, if I can get this to pop up, I don't want that. 1 inch hail on this one. There we go. Yeah, it's warned for 60-mile-an-hour winds and quarter-size hail. That's the storm we want to watch, long term. And again, the area to watch in the next few hours is right here. So I don't know if I can get the satellite to go on here or not. I don't want that. Let's see if I could do that. Okay, can't go here. Let's try this. I guess not. Okay, I was thinking I could get the satellite on there. Actually, what I might can do, let's try this. Do it the old-fashioned way. I wanted to show you the satellite picture because it's kind of gives you an idea of what we can be looking for. Okay, so again, you can see this clearing area in this arc is going to be moving over us probably next couple hours. So that's going to allow us to have some sunshine, destabilize the atmosphere, and that's something that we definitely is a bad thing because we'll have more instability with the sunshine. So that's why round two it's something to be on the lookout for. That's for sure. So just kind of want to give you a graphical idea, a picture of this clearing spot, and you can see that supercell that's south and east of Abilene. You can see the anvil slicing off. Then that shows you that obviously there's a lot of instability in the atmosphere, and that will be the case for the foreseeable future until this dry line cold front moves through. All right, so let's go just for graphical representation. So this is the tornado watch area. Again, till 11 o'clock. A few tornadoes likely. No tornado reports yet, so that's good. Hail to baseball size. The vast majority of people won't see anything near that big, but I don't think golf balls out of the question for more than 1 or 2 people, unfortunately. And wind gusts of 70 miles an hour. And these type of supercells that we have today are hail producers for sure, and then some of these will be wind-driven hailstorms, and that's obviously not a good thing. Let's see, I'm just looking at my board over here. Don't see anything that's terribly concerning warning-wise. I don't know if they've updated this warning or not. They have, but not... still 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts, quarter-size hail. Moving northeast at 55 miles an hour. So these are... get back on that screen there. These storms are moving fairly quickly. Let's zoom in on here real quick. Okay, so good old rain shower at my house, that's for sure. Let's go back to the hydrometer classification here, see if that hail has changed any. Not really, although I would point out that so around the Allen area, this storm, that's why I thought this storm that's just about to get to Rockwall probably has some hail in it. You see these little bitty hail markers here, so it's something that, again, some more hail markers right here. I think the vast majority of us, if you do see hail, would be on the small side, cross your fingers. And then, but you could see quarter-size hail with these particular storms. Now, these storms can ramp up and down, so just because you have quarter-size hail in one storm doesn't mean that you wouldn't have it wouldn't ramp up on the next iteration. And a good example of that is the storm in Rockwall. That storm is not warned, but yeah, again, that I think this particular scan is just a tad behind the reflectivity scan. Yeah, that was at 426. Let's see if we can get it updated. That's 423. Let's see if we can try this one. Nope. I would guess that when they update that, it's going to be. Oh, there we go. Yeah. So again, wouldn't be surprised to see some hail in Rockwall, especially on the south side or central Rockwall. But again, hopefully nothing too bad if anybody's watching. Yes, Amy. Hello, neighbor. There's lots of rain where we live. Thankfully, that's all it is right now. And for us, in the short term, especially in Dallas-Fort Worth, let's see if I can get this back to not too bad. All right. So in summary, here's what we got. All right. So I'm going to put this in motion. So as you can see, this goes back to about 2:30. And we had these individual storms that moved through, and the good news is, okay, I'm sorry, I just got a text from my buddy. Alarms in Princeton. Well, it's not for a tornado. I'll put it that way. It is for hail, but I'm not. That's puzzling to me. Let's zoom in here. Yeah. Okay. Let's put the hydrometer layer on here. Well, I mean, there's definitely hail in that storm, but now again, this is a radar presentation. It's not ground truth. So, with that being said, I'm just looking at some of my storm spotter buddies. I don't see any big hail reports coming out of that particular storm. Scroll down here, make sure I'm not missing anything. No, I don't. Okay. Well, I mean, if they're doing the sirens in Princeton, not real sure why. I mean, there's definitely hail there, but typically they'll only do the sirens. Well, every city's a little different, but I mean, typically you would do it for a golf ball size and larger, but every city is different, I guess. But I think now again, that's not to say it couldn't ramp up, but I just haven't seen any indication of that. Heck, you could argue that there's a bigger hail concern, even though the storm's not warned over here in Rockwall. Now, I wouldn't be shocked at all to see that storm warned here in just a little bit. Let's see. Okay, well that particular storm, it's headed toward Princeton. They did up the hail size a little bit to an inch. Let's see. Which is obviously. Well, actually, that's a quarter. Actually, I didn't. It's quarter size. It's the same amount. Same size, I should say. Yeah, I mean that. There's a little bit more of a core right there, just north of Lucas. This was a scan at 4:30, and now that hail core with the other storm is over Fate. Again, it's not warned, so it doesn't mean it's not occurring. It's just that I'm a little surprised. Oh, wow. That's probably one of the bigger hail signatures as far as in area that I've seen, other than the ones when they were over Fort Worth. Yeah, that's interesting that storm's not warned. But hey, so if you live in Fayette, if you live in Royce City, anywhere along, I-30, just keep that in mind. All right, so let's go back to reflectivity here. All right, so, and that was that storm. That was kind of getting its act together over here, and it's definitely gotten its act together a little bit more. All right, let's zoom out here. Okay, so here's bottom line. This is round one. Is basically this right here. Round two, which is not, granted, it doesn't look that impressive right now, but I think that will get more impressive, and then that will be moving somewhat in this direction, maybe more like this. It just depends, but I think that's what we'll see as time goes on. So I will sign off for now. Don't see anything else in the chat, so I will definitely sign off. But here's what you can expect the next couple hours. Really, kind of a lull. Really, I think we'll see, a lull in the precipitation as we get past 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. I think that that's where we'll start seeing round two come in, and then we will see what happens. Hopefully, we will be just as fortunate in round two as we did in round one, but we shall see. All right, so oh, you're welcome, Regina. You're very welcome. I enjoy keeping everyone updated and keeping everyone safe. Ultimately, that's the ultimate goal. All right, well, I'm watching the weather, so you don't have to. Hope everyone stays safe, has a pleasant evening as much as you can, and we're just like anything else. We're going to get through this, and then we'll go on to the next thing. But in the meantime, just if you, I will say, if you have something to do, something to travel, shop, whatever, now might be the time to do it before round two gets here, especially if you're south and west of DFW proper. All right, well, I appreciate everyone watching, and we will talk to you soon.